I was 6 years old, and I lived with my family in the suburbs of Philadelphia. I heard my mother call, "Susie," and I went onto the porch where she was having lunch with her old college roommate. She said, "We were thinking that Mrs. Booth and I, that she has 2 children that are just a little older than you, and wouldn't it be fun for you to go with her down to Delaware and stay for a few days, and then I'll pick you up?" So I look at Mrs. Booth and I look at my mother and I think, okay. So the drive was hours and hours long, and finally we get to this big entrance of a house. And I see these 2 kids running out of the house, and they're at least a head taller than me. And they say, "Oh, let's go play in the back field." So we run around the back of the house, and they say, "Let's go up on this shed that was in the middle of the field." So there's a ladder next to the shed, and we climb up the ladder, and the top of the shed is flat, and we sit there and our legs dangling over. I'm in the middle. And all of a sudden, this boy goes like this with a bean. There were these beans from pods from the overhanging tree. And he takes the bean and he rubs it on the tar roof and he puts it on my bare skin below my shorts. "Ouch!" I said it. I jumped up. It stung. And then the girl, she did the same thing. She took the bean and she rubbed it on the tar and she put it on my arm. And I said, "Ow!" You know, ouch, it hurts. And I look for the ladder. And I work my way around and I go down the ladder and I say, "I'm going home." And I run to the big house and I go in and I say, "Please, Mrs. Booth, could you call my mother for me?" So she dials my mother and hands me the phone. I say, "Mother?" "Oh, Susie, I'm glad you called." "Mother?" "Susie?" "Mother?" "Susie, is everything all right?" "No." "Susie, are you going to be all right in a little while?" "No." "You want me to come and get you?" "Yes, please." "All right, I'll be there tomorrow before 12 to collect you. Let me talk to Mrs. Booth." The next morning, I was sitting on this rock by the driveway and with the satchel next to me, and I was kind of leaning over because my top of my stomach had turned over. And I waited. And then I saw the blue Volkswagen coming up the driveway. And my mother got out of the car, and she had to go into the house to have a little rest and some lunch. And then we were on our way home driving, and I was in the front seat, and I looked over and I saw her freckled hands on the steering wheel, and I smelled her smell. And I said, "Mother, my stomach doesn't hurt anymore."